Sufficient sleep appears to improve appetite regulation, whereas sleep deprivation or restriction spontaneously increases calorie intake. In fact, in one study, I think it was sleep restriction of 2/3 of normal sleep for 8 days actually caused spontaneous increase in calories of over 500 calories a day. And this appears to be explained through changes in hunger hormone secretion in response to insufficient sleep. If you sleep restrict, it appears to increase levels of ghrelin, and ghrelin is a hormone that increases your hunger and drive to eat. And this increase in calories appears to be from increased snacking, not necessarily increased meal size. When they do acute studies of sleep restriction looking at meal intake, the calorie intake appears to be similar, but people tend to snack much more when they haven't had enough sleep. And sleep restriction can also change the composition of weight loss, with people who are sleep restricted losing more weight from lean mass and less from fat than those who get sufficient sleep. Now, when I say enough sleep, if you look at the research data, you don't need to get 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep. But the research data on mortality, on disease, in terms of optimal levels of sleep, it appears to be around 7 hours. If you get above or below that, you do see increased disease risk and mortality risk. But what's crazy is the risk increase is greater going above 8 hours of sleep versus going below 7 hours of sleep. Meaning, I think the papers I looked at saw, for example, going below 7 hours of sleep, there was like a 5% increased risk of, I think it was cardiovascular disease or mortality for each hour less of sleep you got. But above 8 hours, it was like close to a 10% increased risk in mortalities. If you are naturally waking up and you're going to bed at a consistent time and your body is able to naturally wake up and you feel good, you feel rested on 6 or 6.5 or 7 hours of sleep, that's totally fine. If you need more to feel totally rested, that's also fine. But excessive sleep appears to have a risk for mortality and disease as well.